in physical form, I am Delilah Fitness. Yes, I am. I am a certified cancer exercise specialist. I'm a certified fitness nutritionist, certified life coach, certified hypnosis coach. And I wanted to have a discussion with you. The fitness industry is changing, and I'm grateful for that. And a lot of you know that I've been in the fitness industry for 30 years. 30 years. And what I've noticed for the 30 years that I've been in fitness is that we have been sold like the medical industry with fitness um, information that's not effective in your mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. Let me explain what I mean by that. We have been told for years in the fitness industry, and we've been shamed, body shaming. We've been shamed that if we don't look a certain way or if we don't have this certain type of body, that there's something wrong with us. There's something wrong. What I've noticed, and I've been a trainer for over 30 years, is that we have a tendency to deal with the physical body, the external. And a lot of times the fish rots from the head. It's internal. But we live in a world, superficial world, where everything is external. And I have been raw vegan. I have been only consuming for over 10 years. I've only consumed fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts, uncooked, unprocessed. And what I learned is that the food is healing, the food is the medicine. And also, as you continue down this trajectory of healing, not only does your body heal, but you become much more compassionate towards humanity. And I noticed for the 10 years or so more that I've been consuming a plant-based consumption, that I feel more connected to Mother Earth. Now, I grew up in Brooklyn, do or die, Bed-Stuy, grew up on rap music, listening to Biggie Smalls and being the toughest, illest, not, having the illest nana, the whole thing. And the constant brainwash of being tough. Yeah, I'm tough. And I think it's interesting because I think even with boys, and I have a bunch of brothers, that whole thing of not being connected with your emotions is what's killing a lot of men, to not be in tune with their feelings. And I find from eating fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts that I have become more compassionate towards humanity and Mother Earth, that I have a love of life and a love of living things, living things. When I consume flesh, and I used to eat of the flesh, it comes with a mental state, a mentality when you're eating flesh, because you're tearing off. Let's just say hypothetically, I remember when I was eating chicken, and I would take the chicken and I would tear the flesh off the bone. And I would tear it off, and when I finished eating my meal, I would look down at my plate and I would see a carcass. I would see some veins, some gristle off the bone. I would see the bones and how I devoured that soul, that spirit, like I consumed the flesh of an animal. And that left me feeling violent, that I consumed another soul. I consumed another energy force of flesh. I notice when I'm eating fruits and vegetables, strawberries, bananas, pineapples, that I'm a lot more loving and compassionate towards humanity. There's no road rage in me. And I find it interesting because for the years that I've been consuming a plant-based consumption, racism and all of that other stuff that we have been conditioned to buy into doesn't affect me. Now, let me explain, because I'm in the world, but not of the world. When I started eating a more plant-based consumption, I started to smell different. My scent didn't have a stench. When you're eating flesh and you're consuming the flesh of another animal, it comes with a mentality, it comes with a stench, and it comes with this type of mentality of death. Death. And so when I started eating fruits, vegetable seeds, and nuts, and bananas, and strawberries, and mangoes, it also comes with a mentality. It comes with a mentality of life energy in a living body, because when you're eating the fruits and vegetables in its natural state, it has cells, it has enzymes, it has vitamins, it has minerals in it. So as you're eating foods that's loving up on you, that's giving you love, you become much more pleasant to be around as opposed to someone who consumes flesh. Now, one could beg to differ. This is not up for debate. I'm expressing my experience consuming a plant-based consumption. I have become, for the years that I've been consuming plant-based without flesh, I have become much more compassionate and almost like an empath. I can feel people's energy. I can feel it. So, with that being said, there has been a shift in my mentality. You'll start to notice if you look at my page that I'm moving in a different frequency. I'm evolving. I'm no longer in a place where one-dimensional, where I'm just talking about the food. Because once you start eating the food, you are what you eat. So you start to become something other than what you used to be. Every 7 years, you get a new body. So if I'm consuming fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts, my body has taken on what I have been consuming. So the person I used to be 7 years ago is no more. So I've been consuming fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts. So my body manifests that. That's why a lot of times, a lot of you guys will say, well, Delilah, your skin looks amazing. And I'm 59. And you'll say, Delilah, your skin looks amazing for 59. And it's not that black doesn't crack. If you look around, black does crack. But it's what you put in your body, the people you hang around, the conversations that you have is really a reflection of you as a person. So there are no victims. So it's just, I wanted to share that because I'm not obsessed with food like that. Like even when you start to consume foods that's nutritionally dense, you don't need to eat a lot. Sometimes I'll eat one meal a day, because my body has been conditioned for the years that I've been consuming a plant-based consumption, and my body is feeding off of the life energy of the photosynthesis from the sun, and you get the chlorophyll. So I'm eating life energy for a living body. All of these plants are getting photosynthesis from the sun. When I eat the photosynthesis through the plant, my body becomes merged with the chlorophyll. So a lot of times I don't get sick because I'm consuming foods that's nutritionally dense and getting vitamin D, getting photosynthesis from the sun, and I am what I eat. So a lot of times it's not so much a diet. Like I've been telling you guys, it's a way of life for me. It's a way of life. It becomes, after you get through the first 3 years, there is a evolution. There's a higher ascending of energy. You'll start to notice that you don't smell the same. When you go to the bathroom, your elimination is not the same as when you was eating meat. You'll start to have more energy. You'll start to reverse the hands of time. You'll get much more younger. People who consume flesh, their time, because, and I'll explain that to you. If you think about flesh, when you eat flesh of an animal, first of all, you couldn't eat it raw. You would never eat it raw. You have to cook it. See, I could eat an apple or a kale raw, but you can't do that. You have to put seasoning on it, because if you was to eat that meat raw, you would be sick. See, that's when I know, for me, that was not the way for me. For me, I could grow kale and I could lift it up from my garden and I could eat it. Anything in this garden, I don't have to put fire to it. When you put fire to something, you change the structure on a cellular level. So what you're doing is you're killing the medicine. Let food be thy medicine and thy medicine thy food. So a lot of you guys, through no fault of your own, you don't know what you're doing. And you've been conditioned to not ask questions. So you do what you've been conditioned as a child to do, from the church all the way up to grade school. We've been indoctrinated with certain things, And we don't even know why we do it. It's so deep in our subconscious mind that a lot of us don't ask questions. So for me, uh, consuming a plant-based lifestyle is, for me, it feels good in my soul. It feels good in my soul. It feels like the right thing to do for humanity, and it makes me feel part and connected to you. It makes me feel connected to the earth. It makes me feel connected to the source of life. So a lot of you guys, this conversation is going over your head. I want to, for those people who are still in the room, I want you to click 9 if you can feel what I'm saying. If you can feel what I'm saying and it resonates within you, I want you to click 9. I want you to click 9. And I'll wait. I want you to click 9. So if this conversation resonates with you and you can relate to what I'm saying, because this conversation is so, because we're not used to having conversations like this. A lot of us are used to twerking, BBLs, arguing. There's a lot of people who get off on toxic and this dysfunction. That's the new normal. So conversations like this is going to be a threat to people, and a lot of people are going to find conversations like this boring. So if you're in this room and you've stayed to the end of this live, that means that there's something that resonates within you that you can relate to, and you can't really put your finger on it, but you feel it in your soul. It's bigger than just the physical. You can feel what I'm saying because it pierces the physical and it speaks to your soul. So a lot of you guys know me as a fitness trainer. That I am. I've been a fitness trainer for 30 years. But I've also incorporated hypnosis. So a lot of you guys know I have been adding hypnosis to my sessions with my clients. Why have I taken courses like neuro-linguistic programming? And why have I done neuroscience coaching, certified in that? Because for the 30 years that I've been in this industry, I noticed that there is a missing link. A lot of you could lose the weight, and you have lost the weight, but you have a problem keeping the weight off. You have a problem, and it's through no fault of your own. A lot of us in our subconscious mind, and you have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is that you don't even know that you're doing it. You're living your life through your subconscious mind, and you're not present. A lot of us are still living in the past and living in old stories. And also we know about fight or flight, the parasympathetic nervous system. So what's happening with a lot of us through our subconscious mind, we're playing out old stories that happened a long time ago. We have adapted to do things the way we have always been doing it. Change is very uncomfortable, and a lot of people cannot wrap their brain around changing because it would be very uncomfortable. Plus, a lot of us, through dysfunction, that's our identity. It's very difficult to sit with yourself in meditation. There's times when I'm working with people who have been mishandled as a child, essayed as a child, right? And what happens with people like that, from my experience of dealing with them in my practice, is that they hold on to that trauma in their body. So even though it happened a long time ago, their body is still feeling the residuals of the trauma. And what you're seeing right now is a world full of people who are trauma bonding. They don't know how to change. And that's understandable because we're living in a world where if you look around, dysfunction is king. The BBLs, the illusion of wealth. And a lot of us have bought into a concept without questioning it. So it's very interesting that we're in this place because it's pretty much, if you look at the environment and what's going on in the world, it definitely dictates why a lot of us are having internal issues. And we use food. Another thing that people do is that they'll use food not to deal, and food becomes the new drug. What people will do instead of feeling their emotions and really dealing with with what's happening to grow, what people will do is stuff themselves with food. It's not that they're physically hungry. They're not hungry for food. They're there's pain. And what people do is that they eat the cupcakes, the cookies, the pizzas, the ice cream, the soda pops, the McDonald's, because the food is drugs. A lot of the stuff that y'all eating is chemicals. It's not even real food. It's plastic. It's all kind of Monsanto's has all kind of stuff in there, and we even feed it to our kids. So now we have type 2 diabetes, which is adult onset diabetes. Kids as young as 5 is getting adult onset diabetes. So we're in a situation here. And it's not just external, it's internal. And I love to exercise, but it's going to take more than exercise to get us out of this. It's a mindset. It's a spiritual journey. It's going to take really letting go of that which no longer serves you. It's and that goes for internally. The belief system that got you through is not going to be able to get you to the next stage of evolution. A lot of you guys are living an old paradigm. You're doing the same thing and expecting different results, and that's insanity. Just like with the fitness industry, I could come here and tell you guys to do a couple of push-ups. And I can say, yeah, girl, you go on and do that. Yeah, come on, five more. Yeah, 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 come on. Yeah, 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 get it. But that's old. That's old. Because there's no doubt that you can lose the weight. You've lost the weight before, and you even went on diets. Kudos to you. But then you put the weight back on because you never lost it in here. See, the weight is in here. Once you deal with in here, this will fall into place. We have been doing it incorrectly. The order of operation is to fix in here first. But we spend time fixing the superficial, the outside, but the inside is still traumatized. You have to fix in here first. The reason why I became a hypnotherapist is because I have been, for the 30 years that I've been in fitness, I've worked with some of the best. I've worked with some of the best clients, baby. I've worked with athletes. I've worked with actresses. I've worked with soccer moms. I've worked with kids. And a lot of you guys come and you really want change. You really do. And I commend you for that, because it takes a strong person to be vulnerable and to come out of your comfort zone and to ask for help. Show humility. Humility. That's the key to healing. But the thing about it is, because we have been so conditioned by society to do the bare minimum, because healing is a lifetime journey. Y'all do diets and you do 2 weeks of a diet, you lost the weight, and then you go back to eating the same thing that put the weight on. You haven't really let go of the weight, because the weight is in your head. It's in your head. You're holding on to something that is holding on to you. And until you work on you, you are always going to come back to this place again. You're always going to be depressed. You're always going to be triggered. Anytime somebody says something to you, you're going to feel that person is attacking you. You're going to be all in your feelings. You're going to be in your feelings. That's not growth. You want somebody to accommodate you, but you're not growing because you're feeling that, okay, I need to get away from this person. But at the end of the day, you can't run from everybody. You have to deal with you. You have to deal with you to grow. So I have been watching you guys, and I have been watching the whole of humanity. I've watched how you guys, well, humanity as a whole, black, white, gay, straight, transvestite, because this whole thing of separation is an illusion. There is no such thing as separation between black, white. We're all humanity. We're all souls. So when this goes back to the earth, this physical body goes back to dust, my soul is everlasting. You cannot kill energy. You cannot kill the soul. So a lot of you guys are wasting a lot of time on things that don't really pan out. And you can't even see it because you're so preoccupied with doing busy work that you're not putting credence or energy in doing the real work. And the real work is you. That's where it's at. The real work is you working on your demons. You sitting in your shadows and dealing with your stuff. Instead of avoiding doing your work and projecting your shit on other people. That's what's happening now. You'll see people who don't want to do the work, so they run around and cry victim. Oh, they picked on me because I'm black. Because I'm Jewish. Oh, they picked on me because I'm a woman. That's why I picked on me, because I'm a black woman. So a lot of people will run around and they'll start to cry, and then you'll trauma bond with other people. And now you have black versus white, women versus men. And the bottom line is that the longer you stay separated, the more dysfunction that you breed in this world. Instead of sitting with yourself and saying, you know what? Something has to change. Something has to change. I've been doing it this way for a long time, playing the victim card. Let me sit down and see and just listen to what people are saying. Maybe they have a point that I don't have to, go off into a tangent. Let me listen. Let me listen to what they're saying. Let me just listen instead of doing the argument thing. Unnecessary. But we do it anyway because we want to be right. Everybody wants to be right. An eye for an eye, everybody goes blind. So for me, being a fitness trainer, I have really spent some time thinking. I've spent some time with myself. As a lot of you guys know, I'm celibate. I've been celibate for over 10 years. Being celibate has helped me to deal with my shit, helped me to see me. Instead of running around in a relationship, sleeping with this person, not to deal with me, to avoid doing the work. So I'll get into a relationship and have sex and have a couple of orgasms and bust a nut, and I'll feel good about myself. But that's not true. That's not true. And you run around here being depressed, and you'll say, well, I'm in a great relationship, but you didn't work on you. There's certain things about you that you need to work on, but now you pull somebody else in your story because you're buying time, you're hiding. But you can't run forever. Whether it be today or when you hit 80, 90, you are going to have to sit with yourself. I don't think you heard me. And this goes for black, white, gay, straight, Republican, Democrat. I don't care who you are, because you can't escape the work. Everybody has to deal with what they did. And a lot of you guys are trying to avoid the obvious by playing games and playing the victim. And that's going to bite you in the backside. I'm telling you, y'all don't see it now, but in the next 10, 20 years, you're going to remember this conversation. And you're going to say, wow, you're going to have a light bulb moment. You're going to say, well, Delilah, she was on to something. She said this. I didn't listen because I wasn't there. You're not present. You're not in the present moment. You can't hear what I'm saying. It'll hit you in the next 10 to 20 years. That's when you have the crisis. You'll find out that you have cancer, diabetes, hypertension. You'll find out that you have to take medication, and you'll sit with yourself because now you're forced to sit with yourself because your body's shutting down. It's unfortunate that a lot of us has to wait for a crisis in order to do the spiritual work. So be it. It's not for me to judge. Let ye who have not sinned cast the first stone. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to give you a warning. I'm here to give you a warning. I'm here to give you a warning. And if you continue doing what you're doing, it's gonna come back. Karma is a mama jamma. Nobody gets out of this alive. So you can sit here and play the victim role. You can sit here and blame somebody. You can sit here and talk about what your mama did or your daddy wasn't there for you. You can talk about what they're doing at the job just to you. Everybody's doing something just to you. You start to believe your own stories, which is interesting. But you'll remember this conversation. Trust me, you will. I'll hang up and I'm going to end this live, and you'll say to yourself, that live was, I didn't know Delilah. She's supposed to be a fitness trainer. I don't know why she's talking about that. I'm more than the sum of my parts. There's more to me than meets the eye. there's more. There's more, many layers to me. I'm 59. I've been on the block for a long time. Trust me. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And a lot of you guys will sit here and you'll play the victim, and it's going to tear you apart. Because you're doing this to yourself. You're your own worst enemy. Instead of doing the work and sitting with yourself, stop dating. Stop dating. Just stop. Summer's coming up. You're going to go get laid. You're going to go to the beach with your little thong on. You're going to try to get some tail. You're going to go through the drama. Oh, girl, I met the one. You are not the one. You have so many issues that, here's the thing. You don't even want to be with you. That's the thing. A lot of times people don't even want to be with themselves. They're looking for distraction to get out of their own head. They're looking for somebody to be distracted with so they don't have to work on themselves. But that's not going to last too long. You can only run but so far. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense what you're doing. But you're going to do it anyway because you're a creature of habit. And a lot of you are afraid of change because this is your identity. That's why I did the hypnotherapy. That's why I even though I'm a fitness trainer, I spent 30 years of my life as a fitness trainer watching people. Honestly, it's like you see the rat in a cage and the rat is running after his tail, but he never catches his tail. I have watched you guys for years lose the weight, put the weight back on. New diet, lose the weight, put the weight back on. Oh girl, lose the weight, put the weight back on, and more. So it's a roller coaster ride. And I don't know about you, but at this particular point in time, you've been doing it so long that you're a creature of habit. You can't even see your patterns, your behavior patterns. And that's your problem. It's not the world outside. It's the world inside of you that has dysfunction. And until you deal and fix that, anytime you step outside your door, it's only going to be a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And how you see yourself is how you're going to see the world. This is why a lot of times when people say things to me, I don't get offended because they're not really talking to me. A lot of you guys are not talking to me. You're projecting your stuff on other people. And this is why I took a lot of neuro-linguistic programming. I took neuroscience courses because if I would have known this was when I was a kid, I would have been invincible. I would have been invincible. But now at 59, taking courses and understanding how the frontal cortex works, and also your cerebral cortex and your brain, the left side, the right side, your parasympathetic nervous system, I totally get why you do what you do. And I'm not offended because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And I see you. I see you. The brain and how people think based on how they perceive reality, you're playing it out in the world. So it has nothing to do with me, because even if you remove me from the equation, you still got to deal with you, and you're going to get the same results you get because you're creating the result. You know? So it's interesting. If you really wanted to lose the weight, you could, and you could really keep it off. But you got to deal with in here first, because the heavy lifting is in your brain. It's your belief system. It's your childhood trauma that you walk around with, and every second you get a chance to tell somebody your trauma story, you don't waste no time doing it. That's your badge of honor, your pity party. Some of y'all can't help yourself. You get around your girlfriends, you talk about your man, you talk about everything but what you're supposed to do to heal. But everybody's doing something to you. The kid's getting on your nerves, but you don't really see what part you're playing in this. You see everybody but you. Isn't that interesting? And the common denominator in the story that you're telling yourself is you. So I'm not offended. It's bigger than me. I would be an egomaniac if I told myself, oh, it's all about me. They're talking about me. No, it's not me. Not me. I'm clear, and I know how this whole dance plays out. And a lot of you need to sit with yourself this whole summer and read a book and do some type of breath work and meditation. Go past the physical. Go past the physical. Because, yeah, you know, you got a nice body. You got the six pack. You're ready for the thigh. You're going to wheel them in. You're going to get somebody. You're going to fish. And at the end of the day, if they spend past the 6 months, the honeymoon stage, they're going to see you for what you really are, because you can't really hide. You can only hide for so long. The honeymoon stage, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Summer's coming up. It's the beginning of summer. You're going to be going to the beach. You're going to be wheeling them in. The winter was this and that. You haven't really dealt with yourself. You haven't really come to pass and peace with your demons. But you're going to pull somebody in so you could be distracted and entertained. And then pull somebody else in your drama. And then wintertime is going to come. You're going to probably break up from the summer fling. And then you're going to be back in that depressive state again, saying, oh, I can't find a great relationship, because you don't have a great relationship with yourself. You don't have a great relationship with yourself. And you know it's true. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. If you dig deep, there is a lot the rabbit hole is deep. And a lot of you guys need to go and really do the work. But you keep trying to avoid the work and keep coming back to this place again. What I want to ask you is, aren't you tired? I mean, I've been there. I was there. I know where you're at, because at one point I was you. That's why I've been celibate for over 10 years, because I am in a place of healing. I'm in a place of working on me, of releasing. And sometimes that could take a long time to heal. But I'm at a point where I don't care if it takes me the rest of my days on the planet. I will not contaminate another person with my toxic trauma from relationships until I fix me first. There's no need for me to jump into something. Not ready. It could take a lifetime, because somebody's going to say, well, it's been over 10 years. You don't think, yeah, I've been celibate for over 10 years. And if it's another 10, 20 years, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Don't have no problem being celibate. In fact, it has been the light of my life. It has saved me from drama and trauma, and also inflicting drama on other people. It has been a safe haven for me. When I communicate with people, I'm not sizing somebody up to get something from them. I'm looking at their soul. I'm having a real conversation with a real person. I don't want anything from you. I'm not looking to sleep with anybody. That situation has been transferred to another area of my life. I've taken that energy and used that energy. I've used that energy to eat living foods, to spend time in the garden, and to spend time on working on being a better person for humanity, so I can show up and help other people. So it's time. Change is inevitable. The wellness industry is changing. This is the direction in which the wellness industry is going. It's going towards healing. We have a lot of broken people on the planet who are looking for love, but don't know what love is. Don't know what, never been loved, but somebody had sex with them, but they don't know what it is to really feel safe. And a lot of y'all know it's true. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. But yes, I do I do sessions on hypnotherapy. I do offer my services, and like I said, for those who have ears to hear, and those people who are interested in even with my Women Rise 2025, it offers raw vegan 30 days of raw vegan food. It offers a fitness movement practice, and it also offers meeting up once a week with other people, like-minded people like yourself, who are interested in growth. So for me, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. A lot of y'all can't say that Delilah Fitness, I have evolved my practice. My practice is not just about sitting here watching you do some push-ups. It has, fitness have evolved to the next stage of evolution. It's time for change. And change starts with you. So this is an open door invitation to anybody who wants to do the work. And trust me, for those of you who are comfortable doing what you're doing, there is no judgment here. That's not my job to judge you. You're doing enough of that yourself, and to badmouth you. Lord knows behind closed doors the conversations that you're having in your head about yourself, and how you feel about yourself. So you don't really need me to add more gasoline to the fire. I am not here to be your judge and jury. That's your job. And karma comes to us all. So I'm just here to do what I was born to do, is to be a beacon of light for those people who are looking for transformation. That's all I offer. There's no force here. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope that this message has resonated for somebody who wants authentic, real change, not no whatever. And there's a lot going on out here, and there's a lot of stuff that tries to bypass the work. And a lot of people, based on how we don't like to do the work, we like instant gratification. A lot of us don't want to put the blood, sweat, and tears in, so a lot of us will gravitate towards Ozempic or towards anything get rich quick scheme, or get healthy quick scheme with another diet, and then you'll be disappointed again, and you'll run and say, oh, I tried this and it just didn't work. But then when I come to you, or someone like me come to you, where you have to do the work, a lot of you guys are going to bypass this because it's too hard. It's too hard because you don't want to do the work. You want the results without putting in the work. And in reality, baby, it don't work like that. So I open the door for those people who are interested in transformation and who want to do the work. And so be it. I've said all that I can say. My cards are on the table, and that's what I, as a spirit, as someone who's come into the world to provide and live one's purpose of helping other people get to the next stage of evolution. The doors are open for you. But at the end of the day, you have to walk through it. I can only show you the door. You have to do the work. And that's how it goes. So don't be mad at the messenger. I'm just the messenger. You have to do the work. All right, guys? So next time, peace. And I wish you the best on your journey.